Now, this is a special how-to based on a lot of questions that you guys ask me. So this how-to is how to have normal sex. Now, the reason that I've chosen this topic is because there isn't a way to have normal sex. And I kind of wanted to really strongly make that point. As a society, we are so caught up with this idea of fitting into a norm, whether that's in what we wear, how we express ourselves, what we do in our everyday lives. We are also obsessed with that when it comes to our sex lives as well. For a lot of us, we're not really taught a lot about sex. We're not educated about the subject, and we're not empowered on how to experience and explore that within our own lives. There's a lot of uncertainty. So what happens is that when something comes into our head, when we have these desires, we need to have them validated by someone else. So we look at what is normal. If what I'm experiencing someone else is as well, then surely to God that's normal and that's okay. We aren't really a society that says if you have fantasies and desires outside of the so-called norm, which a lot of this has been influenced by religion and passed down for many, many years, then you're not normal. And there's something to be feared and something to be shameful about. And that's really wrong. You know, we are all unique human beings sexually. Yes, we have a lot of similarities, but we also have a lot of differences, and we need to be able to express and experience those within our own lives. Now, when we ask that question, how this question gets asked of me often is not, am I normal? It's things like, how many times a week should I be having sex? Or even things like, this is what I desire, Nikki. Is this okay? That is more of a direct, am I normal? Because I do get that when it comes to, say, fetishes or sexual desires. People want to know if what they're desiring or what they're thinking about is okay before they go and talk to other people about it, or maybe even the person they're in a relationship with. It's really important that you start to understand that there is no such thing as normal. We have what is legal. We have what some consider as moral, but that's really hard to decide because what I think is moral might be different to what someone else thinks is moral. But the things that we need to focus on is what is consensual and what is harmful. Now, there may be things where you are harming yourself, and I'm excluding BDSM from this point. This is not a matter of harmful pleasure. This is harming yourself or harming someone else. You know, that's where we really need to look at, regardless of whether it's a sexual desire or not. It's not something you should ever be doing. You should never be harming yourself or someone else. You should never be crossing someone else's boundaries. You should always maintain that you have someone else's consent. Now, if you can construct your sexual desires and fantasies and behaviors within that, then we don't really have a problem, do we? So we need to let go of this idea of what is normal and instead more focus on what is it that you desire? What is it that you want from your sex life? Does it match up with how you're living your romantic life and your everyday life? Are there any legal constraints to this? Do you need to ensure consent from the person you want to experience this with? Those are the things that we need to be focusing on, not this burning question that I always get asked, which is, am I normal? If there is no such thing as normal when it comes to sex, then no one can be normal and no one can be abnormal. For a lot of people, they look at the masses and what society does, what is common. We can look at things like that. What is common? How many times are people having sex? What are they doing in the bedroom? What positions are they getting into? But do you want to be common? Do you want to do what everyone else does? Or would you rather tap into what you desire, what works for you, and experience that in your own life? So I hope that helps. It's a bit of a different how-to and more one that is a collective how-to from a lot of questions I've been asked from you. So if you haven't asked Dr. Nikki that you want answered, or you've got a how-to that you'd like to see me do a video on, make sure that you jump over to my Facebook page and you can ask me anything.